I took a solo trip to Tanzania during the pandemic. I found the prices to be very reasonable when I traveled. I paid for economy, but there was so much space. I felt like it was first class. There I am, lounged out. I am fully vaccinated and boosted, and we finally landed in Kilimanjaro. It was great. It smells so good here. I don't know what it is, but it smells sweet. I can't believe I'm here. I can't believe I'm in East Africa. One of my main reasons for going to Tanzania was to serve. I found an orphanage and had the opportunity and privilege to serve. There's so many opportunities to serve in Tanzania. So if you do enjoy giving and serving and humanitarian efforts, there are a lot of opportunities to serve in Arusha, Tanzania, specifically. That's where I did most of my service. In Arusha, some of the roads are paved, some are unpaved, and you can use taxis, motorbikes, or tuk-tuks for transportation. What is that? And this is me riding in one of the three-wheeled tuk-tuks. All of the hotel beds I slept in had mosquito nets. Mosquito nets are uncommon where I am from, so I took pictures of it, lots of pictures of them. I'm sleeping under a mosquito net, and thank God for mosquito nets. Look at all these mosquitoes that the mosquito net caught. In Tanzania, they drive on the left, similar to England. Transportation within Arusha was very reasonable, with taxis being the most expensive, motorbikes being the least expensive. The motorbikes were less than $1 one way, but keep in mind they don't use helmets for the passengers. This is one of the orphanages that I had an opportunity to serve. Thank you, Pastor John. Oh, no, one wants this one. One wants these. Oh, sorry. Thank you. Thank you. Wait, here, you can Yeah. My reason for sharing this footage is to motivate or encourage anyone that is looking for opportunities to serve and to give, because there are plenty of opportunities to serve and give. So definitely take a trip to Arusha, Tanzania, and do it. You can do it. You can serve and you can give. And I did this individually without an organization backing me. So it's possible. Being a member of the diaspora, it was a culturally significant experience for me to see my physical and visible representation in all parts of the environment. That is very uncommon to see where I live, and I would encourage any member of the diaspora to definitely experience that. It was visible even at the grocery store. I took a picture of this food can label. Going to the local markets was a little overwhelming because you have to get used to ignoring some of the solicitations. Haggling is acceptable. It's part of the culture. They do have stores where prices are fixed and you can also shop there. I also had an opportunity to serve at Samaritan Village. They have a base organization in my home state. I took a tour of the facility. It includes a faith-based edifice, dormitories, and a medical dispensary. I called and asked what they needed, and they needed school notebooks, which are pictured right there. They also needed rice and oil. There's the cooking oil, and there is the rice. So it is very feasible for you to serve in organizations. You can do it. So if you have a heart to serve, if you have a heart to give, if you've always been wanting to do something like this, it's possible. You can do it. There's a nursery there also. And that's the address of the facility. Thank you very much. You are welcome. Thank you very much. The children sang this wonderful melody of songs, and unfortunately, I didn't get that captured, but it was great. This is the famous clock tower, which is physically located in the center of Africa. Arusha is a very busy city, so much to see, a lot to do and experience. So I just took an opportunity to walk around. In Arusha, they have three primary monuments. This one is the Elephant Monument in the center of town. I'm guessing it commemorates all of the animals in the country. I also visited the Declaration Monument, which is also in Arusha, and that commemorates the country's independence from colonial rule. Right next to the Declaration Monument is the Declaration Museum that outlines Tanzanian history pre and post colonization. They have a strong history with women's empowerment that was very interesting to read about. I enjoyed myself there. The price of admission was very reasonable, and you could probably spend maybe about 1 to 2 hours there. I had no idea that Tanzania fought against the army of Idi Amin in 1979, apparently. Tanzania fought against Idi Amin. Had no clue about this. So they have a history of war against Idi Amin. As with most countries in Africa, they were colonized by a European country, and the country did experience some form of the exportation of slavery. They gained their independence in 1961. I had the most fun just being a tourist and everyone assuming I was a local. They had a lot of coffee shops just to relax and chill. I walked around. Some people spoke Swahili to me. I got a couple of dresses made at the local market. Negotiation and haggling is a thing, and I did do it. But it was great to have a dress made just for you. I did join a guided tour to go into some of the villages. It was very common to see cows being guided by farmers. Throughout the tour, we got a chance to learn about how they used a variety of the plants and trees. There was an art gallery in the middle of the village, the beautiful houses, and a familiar sound of church. After lunch in the village, we went to Lake Manyara National Park. Okay, yes, I've seen monkeys before, I've seen giraffe before in zoos, but it is a totally different thing to see monkeys and giraffe in the wild outside of an enclosure. I just love that part. So after the village tour and then lunch in the village, we went to Lake Manyara National Park and we drove around, saw a lot of different animals, mostly monkeys and giraffes. It was a guided tour with G Adventures, and I would definitely recommend taking a guided tour to go through the villages and the national park. Taking the guided tour to the village will eliminate a language barrier, and taking the guided tour to Lake Manyara will definitely help with navigating the terrain. I enjoyed Lake Manyara because it was very close to Arusha, and the highlights of going to Arusha was definitely the service opportunities, the Lake Manyara, and visiting the village. Go to Tanzania.